Sixth Amendment guarantees the right to a legal counsel is fundamentally right and is essential to having a fair trial. Justice Hubert Black stated from the very beginning, our state and national constitution and laws have laid great emphasis on our procedural and substantive safeguards designed to assure our trials before imperial tribunals in which every defendant stands equal before the law. This noble idea cannot be realized if a poor man charged with a crime has to face his accusers without a lawyer to assist him. Black argued that without this due process of the Sixth Amendment, there is no just trial, and therefore is fundamentally right for our judicial system.
Due process has remained important because it is designed to protect citizens from actions taken by all levels of government. Several examples of due process are present. For example, the right against unlawful search and seizure, which is covered by the Fourth Amendment. However, exigent circumstances provide exceptions to the general requirement of a warrant under the Fourth Amendment, which allows officers to search a property if urgency is required. For example, the Ruby Frank child abuse case. The officers had enough urgency and reason to search their house because children were in a life-threatening situation. Within both the Seventh and Eighth Amendment, due process protections are given by stating that every citizen has the right to a trial by jury and protection from cruel punishment. One of the last examples of due process is requiring police to inform people under arrest that they do not have to answer questions without an attorney. Miranda versus Arizona used the constitutional basis of the Fifth and Sixth Amendment to further establish due process clauses within the American judicial system.
In conclusion, the evolution of due process from Cicero's philosophical concept to its codification in documents like the Magna Carta and the Bill of Rights, and its continued application in landmark cases like Gideon versus Wainwright shows its critical role in protecting individual rights and ensuring fairness within the legal system. Its significance from ancient Rome to modern-day United States highlights its enduring importance in ensuring an ethical and equitable society.
Time, please.
3:52.
Okay. All right, give him a big round of applause. All right. Okay. So start out really interesting stuff. So let's go back to Cicero and the statement: if you take away somebody's rights, you take away their humanity. Tell me about that. Why is that significant?
Well, Cicero claimed, like I said in there, that they were universal across all cultures, and that they were just like they were the driving force of like how humans behaved and stuff. And he said that if you took that away, you were basically a tyrant. You should be taken out of power because, you're taking away their humanity.
Okay. So let's talk about that because you right there you used the term. If you take away somebody's humanity, you should be taken out of power. Do people abuse power that way? Mm-hmm. Okay. So really interesting stuff. So. We get to the Magna Carta, and they're spelling out the rights of the individuals, defining what a right is or a natural right. That's going to be a fair place to go for written law and following those rules. So once again, let's think rules of play. So you guys talked about the guarantee under the Fifth Amendment, the guarantee of no self-incrimination. Would you define that as a natural right, or would you define that as more a notion that's been created?
I would say it's a natural right because, like I feel like every person has the right to remain safe, and if anybody puts that into jeopardy, then that shouldn't be fair.
Okay, so even though we might have man-made situations, still somewhere in the universe there is that sense of justice that there are certain things that we are entitled to in that pursuit of justice. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you guys you further went into imperial tribunals, and when we think about that, that's a little bit of a scary notion. And once again, a lot of arguments about that. Really interesting that you used Justice Black on when he talked about the concept If we do not have the Sixth Amendment, there's no such thing as a fair trial. Tell me about that.
So like, if you weren't to like have a counsel, like if the judge was like, well, I know that these people are gonna side with how I believe that this person is like wrong or right, I feel like that's not a just trial because the people that you're putting in as your counsel, like, are not coming in at your benefit. They're coming in against you or vice versa.
Okay, so I don't know if this is the best, but immediately it's tainted.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
From what you're saying? Okay, so let's go back to you guys brought up the Ruby Frankie situation. Once again, what are the drivers on that? Jody Hildebrand, when they go to her door, she's on the phone with the attorney, right?
Right.
Now that essentially the officer said that's fine, but they still escorted her out of the home, right?
Yeah.
So would that be a unique situation under Fourth Amendment rights?
I would say it could be unique, but also like the police had every right to do that. Like it doesn't matter if our attorney's on the phone or not, because there are kids that had been abused inside the house, and like it was fair for them to escort her because she could have put them like in danger just by like being there. She could have like strategically tried to figure some stuff out. So to just remove herself from the situation is fair.
Okay. All right, guys, give them a big round of applause.